Hello everyone, I wish you a very happy new year. Today I will summarize all the episodes of Tu Tien so that everyone can better understand the plot. Jack grew up in an ordinary family in a small town. His parents were hard-working laborers who taught him that only knowledge and effort could change one's life. From a young age, Jack was fascinated by construction. He spent hours watching workers in his town, dreaming of the day he could design skyscrapers. With persistence, Jack earned a scholarship to a prestigious university in civil engineering. After graduating, he worked tirelessly, gaining experience and eventually founding his own company, Tom, Heart of Construction. The name reflected Jack's philosophy: build with heart, sustain over time. Jack's company quickly became a phenomenon. The projects he led met the highest standards, from modern urban developments to iconic bridges. Jack's success made him a role model for young professionals in the construction industry. While Jack lived the life of a successful businessman, Tu Tien had a completely different journey. She was born and raised in a peaceful rural area where people relied on farming for their livelihood. She once fell in love and married a man from her village, but her marriage did not last. Tien's ex-husband and his family valued having children over the marital bond. When they discovered that Tien struggled with infertility, they turned their backs on her. After years of enduring pressure and neglect, Tien chose to divorce, returning to her mother's home to rebuild her life. Tien began growing oranges, a crop not common in her region but highly productive if properly cared for. She dedicated herself to each tree, learning how to improve fruit quality and gradually proving her worth through successful harvests. When Jack visited her village during a retreat, they first met at a small market. Jack was captivated by Tien's gentle yet resolute demeanor, while she felt sincerity and kindness in his gaze. Their relationship grew naturally. Jack often visited Tien's orange farm, helping her with the harvest and discussing future plans. To Tien, Jack was the first person who didn't see her as a failure because she couldn't have children. For Jack, Tien brought him a sense of peace he had never experienced amidst the pressures of work. Jack's success was not always met with approval. In the cutthroat construction industry, where profit often trumped ethics, Jack's principles made him a target for competitors. One of these rivals was the company Min-Fat, secretly backed by CEO Tone. Tone had once been Jack's partner, but there was always an undercurrent of rivalry between them. Tone not only envied Jack's achievements but also saw him as an obstacle. When Tone learned that Jack was in love with Tu Tien, the woman he had once pursued but been rejected by, his jealousy turned into fury. Tone devised a plan to bring Jack down. He and Min-Fat secretly used substandard materials in a major project Jack was overseeing. When the project suffered structural failures, Min-Fat spread rumors that Jack had cut costs to increase profits. These accusations quickly gained traction, tarnishing Jack's reputation and threatening his company with bankruptcy. Next chapter: the fall and rebirth. When Jack's major construction project encountered a failure, the media quickly picked up the story, dubbing it the biggest scandal in the construction industry of the decade. His company swiftly fell into crisis. Investors withdrew, contracts were canceled, and partners turned their backs. Jack, once at the pinnacle of his career, now faced the brink of bankruptcy. Jack's mental state. Jack fell into despair. In the initial days after the scandal, he barely spoke to anyone. In his mind, he blamed himself for not foreseeing his rivals' schemes. Each time he read the news or received letters from disgruntled clients, it felt like another blow to his pride. Tu Tien's support. During this difficult time, Tu Tien was Jack's only source of strength. She not only encouraged him but also helped him see things from a more positive perspective. "Jack," she gently said, "everything can start over. We just need the courage to take the next step." Tien suggested that Jack leave the city for a more peaceful life. "You once told me I bring you peace," she smiled. "Then why not try living like me, amidst nature and the countryside? We could grow oranges together. Who knows, it might be the start of something meaningful." Leaving the city behind. After many sleepless nights, Jack decided to retreat. He sold his company at a low price to pay off debts, left the city, and moved in with Tien in her rural village. Though heartbroken to let go of the career he had built, Jack knew that peace and love were far more important. A new beginning with oranges. Jack began learning how to farm. At first, he struggled, but he gradually adapted to rural life. Tien taught him how to care for each orange tree, from fertilizing, watering, to identifying pests. Together, they revitalized the orchard, planting more orange trees and expanding its area. With the creativity of an engineer, Jack designed a modern irrigation system to boost productivity. He even created their own brand for their oranges, naming it Heart of Oranges, a nod to his construction philosophy of building with heart and sustainability. The locals increasingly supported their orange farm. Many came to buy because they knew Jack and Tien's story, admiring their resilience and determination. A confrontation with Tone. While Jack and Tien gradually found stability, Tone was far from finished. Knowing Jack was still happy with Tien, Tone felt defeated. He plotted to sabotage their orchard by hiring people to spray chemicals and ruin the orange trees. One night, Jack discovered strangers sneaking into the orchard. He managed to stop them in time and reported the incident to the local authorities. With the community's help, evidence was gathered, and it all pointed to Tone as the mastermind. Exposing the truth. Jack not only confronted Tone but decided to bring everything to light. He reconnected with loyal former employees of his company, Heart of Construction. Together, they gathered enough evidence to prove that Tone and Min Fat had tampered with the materials in the previous project, causing Jack to be falsely accused. Tone was forced to face trial. Meanwhile, Jack's reputation was restored. However, Jack chose not to return to the city. He decided to stay in the countryside, continuing to develop the orange farm with Tien and enjoying a peaceful life. A fulfilling ending. Heart of Oranges became a renowned brand, known not only for its quality but also for the inspiring story behind it. Jack and Tien lived happily, finding joy not just in their successful farm but also in their ever-growing love for each other, strengthened by the challenges they overcame. Jack understood that sometimes, loss is a way for people to discover the true value of life. And for him, the most precious thing was Tien, the person who had always stood by him and helped him rebuild everything. The story can be further developed if you'd like additional details or plot twists.